Hello.
Hello.
There's just one line of code that you need. It's easy. It should be easy because you don't need to know what panel it's in. You just need to know that it's not in a panel, right? Or or if it's in a panel, rather. Um, so all you need to do is check that the layer is not in the sticker layer. Because then it means it's in the panel layer. And to do that, it's just something like this line of code. I'm not 100% sure that I think C# is smart enough to use this with not equals, so it should still work. Where's Discord? I'll just send it to your thing because I can't find my Discord for some reason.
Are you on your phone or something right now, or are you at your computer?
I'm at my computer. Why?
The low volume.
I am using. Let's see if my mic is actually the right mic. It might be my webcam mic or something.
It's probably my head's phone. I probably had you guys turned way down for.
Hello, hello, hello. It doesn't look like my. Oh wait, recording. There we go. Yeah, it looks like both are letting up. I don't know which one it's actually using though.
Alright, so if I'm referencing a thing on each specific sticker, then I'll have to go through. I'll have to keep track of this. Mr. Ideas will have to keep track of this. What I'm trying
What are
to
you trying to do?
Make it so that I'm just trying to like. I don't even know that it will be like this forever, but I think a good starting spot for a game mode. I was trying to clean up the UI. That's how I started. And then I was like, you know, he spits out the stickers at a random distance. I should probably spread them out evenly. And then I was like, here, let me share my screen. I should probably have spit them out at, like distances where they're decently far apart. So
On my branch. I guess you don't need to be technically. I have changes, so you should be on my branch if you're just so that you know. Like a lot of things have changed on my branch.
Yeah, a lot of, I'm worried actually, because I've changed a lot of little scene things and a lot of prefab things. I don't think you mess with the prefabs though, so that should be fun. I haven't really changed, I haven't really worked, I guess I have changed some. Have you worked at all in Word Bubble?
Yeah, the text or whatever. I think it might. I changed the name of that entirely. That's called text bubble sticker because it's a sticker. It's just one with a text bubble.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to do some
and it descends from sticker. Like you're gonna have a lot of changes if you're not working off of my branch.
Yeah,
and those have to be there because they're network stuff. Like every change I made was for the network. Anyway, what are you? So your goal is just to clean. You want to know basically if you just want to know if something's in a panel or not, then it's easy. It's just layer.name not equal to sticker.
Right, but what I'm saying is, so the whole thing was like I was like, I hate how messy it is down here. So I was like, I'll have it so that you can only have, for now, like as a mode design start thing for like a pass and play type mode. I'll have it so like there's only 3 stickers down here at a time, and on your turn, you will make use of at least one of these 3 stickers, and then I suppose you could trash the rest or whatever the rules are around that. But
yeah,
I think that
I mean we could eventually put it in like a little bar that scrolls side to side. You know what I mean? Like a organized bar that you just fill up, and then you can sort of like Apple style just hover to scroll.
Eventually, what I want is basically the exact UI from Type 5 Still Alive, where he is the deck. You know, you have a hand that's down here that only shows up.
Still Alive is
The robot stand-up comedy game. that we made last.
Oh, that
yeah.
one. Sorry, I don't remember the.
So like these would be like
names
the
of all our
deck,
games.
like a card deck, right? And then if you put your hand down here, they would come
Yeah,
up.
yeah. I think that makes sense. Yes.
But I'm not gonna do that before. I don't think that's
GDC.
like I don't think that's critical for GDC. I do think that's the eventual UI, but like
No, but it is actually useful. It's something that you can work on without us stepping on each other's toes, because that is completely client side. Another thing you can work on is the WebGL build. Once I get it, I'll get it standardized and up, so that I'll see if I can get it get a website up and running, so that you guys can just literally hop onto a website and play it. But it would be nice and useful to get, cause the WebGL build doesn't like resize well, but that's all local code too.
so if I have
Um,
Mr. Ideas, if I change the number of things Mr. Ideas can spit out, will that not? Does the net? Do you have to do actual
The
work to
network
network
needs-
that, or would that
The
be?
server needs to know that. So then, yeah, so the server would need to know, because right now that code actually is all server based. Like, it doesn't assume anything. It just asks the server to spawn a new sticker, and the server takes care of it. And actually, while it's moving, you can't grab it until it's done
But
moving.
it doesn't. It won't do that asking based off of Mr. What's in Mr. Ideas. That's just a totally separate thing.
Right now, it doesn't even check. It just he has infinite ideas. I could do, but yeah, that would live server side. So that's going to be network code.
Because I just.
But I guess honestly, honestly though, actually, if you, it's technically network code, but like the server side running it is client side on the server, like because the server is just a host, it's just another player.
Right. If
So
I
that
change
should
Mr.
still
Ideas'
be-
code to the or head poop, I think you said you changed.
But remember,
it
I
to.
changed him. He's now known as network sticker spawner.
but the only thing I changed in him was like, basically I said here if there's depending on the number of stickers out there.
That stuff has all definitely changed on my side because that had to be networked and was cleaned up.
And I
just so you
also
know.
made it so when when the stickers instantiated, they're labeled as stickers. So I made a sticker tag, and they get tagged as stickers, and then.
Yeah, I mean you could. We don't need I don't use the tag, but you could tag it as stickers. Or like right now, there's what are you using the tag for? I guess is the question.
Just to see how many are out there, how many exist with the find objects with tag.
You could just do that with the tracker on Mr. Ideas because he'll know.
Yeah, I could make an array. I could just add to the array every time one gets made, and he could track how many are. But then he has to be always looping through all the stickers to see what people
No,
are
he
doing
doesn't.
with them.
Well, he just needs
Well,
to know.
sorry. So eventually, I want to split this stickers tag into a stickers stuck and stickers unstuck tag, basically, so that at any time I could just use this to see how many stickers were stuck and how many were unstuck. Really, I only actually need to know the unstuck. So I guess
You're
like
not supposed to do the find game objects with tag stuff. You're not supposed to run that frequently or really ever. Not ever, but you're not supposed to run that much. That's actually a surprisingly intensive action. So it's better to just have an array or like a list or something. So if you wanted to do that, you could do list based, and then we could have the sticker themselves notify Mr. Ideas when they're like stuck and unstuck, to tell them that they've been, what state they're in. Or you could just have the list and then check the sticker itself. That's also pretty fast because you already have a reference to the sticker.
But I think what we should what I'm basically saying is today, if you have time, we should try and discuss a game mode and get that one game mode done, because I don't think we're going to have multiple game modes before GDC. There's 2 weekends
Yeah,
left.
that's what I was saying too. I think the one that makes the most sense is the Jackbox one or a co-op one. One of those two.
I think the one that makes personally, I think the one that makes most sense is one that it would be turn-based. That could be pass and play if we had to just hand a Steam Deck with it on to someone and they pass it to the next person.
We could, but I'm pretty confident with the WebGL stuff just working. I'm pretty confident we're not going to need that. The biggest hurdle actually is figuring out how to make this work, and this is something that you could totally try to figure out, is how to make this work on a mobile screen.
Well, it's not. I'm not saying that just to hedge up my bets on whether the online will come together. I'm confident you'll get it working. And what I'm saying is, I'm mostly thinking a turn-based thing just because, you know, like if we're at a party or something, and the idea of like playing it with people and passing something around is a fun thing to me. And then also, I just think Dave was right. Like a turn-based thing is kind of the most interesting idea of this to me. Like I do something and then you iterate on it. I do something and then you iterate on it.
Yeah, I mean that is interesting and fun for sure. That's the co-op version of it, like yeah. But maybe the most immediately accessible and identifiable might still be the Jackbox competitive mode.
But either way,
Just because
even if
people
it's
know
the
that is.
Jackbox one, I
Yeah.
still think we could do this. Everybody gets 3, and then like Dave said, a communal pool for the rest. Everyone gets 3 unique, and then there's like a communal pool that everyone can draw from. I'm not sure how that would be represented UI-wise, though. I think that's a little more complicated.
Yeah, well, so
but-
I think like some high value things that need to get done, like before we even really figure out even some of the mode shit, is figure out how to make this feel good on a touch screen. So if we could either once I get the WebGL stuff up and running, theoretically you'll be able to access and play from a touchscreen. Though I don't even know how well it's gonna work because I don't know that the touch inputs will even work at all. But that's something we need to like. Even just getting it to render properly and be a nice thing to look at on a touch screen is going to be difficult to do. Like we could do a vertically arranged panels for that. But then like where are you gonna grab your stickers from? Like stickers have to be in like a scrollable array kind of thing. Because the best way we are gonna get people interested in this game is if we just say, take out your phone, go to this website. And there we go. And that's it.
Yeah, I
That's
think.
the
I mean,
best
I
way to
think the
do
way.
it.
So, how does it translate to mobile right now? Does the mouse stuff automatically translate to mobile?
That's what I'm saying. I don't think it will, but even before that, we have to get the display right. So like, if we have a 3-panel display,
I
it
mean,
should be
I
3
think this
vertical
display
panels.
is fine for a phone. Like this is a good. You turn your phone sideways and it would look like this. I think that's fine.
Yeah, but will people want to play like that? So people are still probably more comfortable holding their phone vertically. So like they still probably want to I would want to actually play it vertically. I bet. You could have
I
them
don't
turn it
do that at all.
sideways.
But like
I'm pretty
either way, I
confident
can.
that the average person that is not necessarily a gamer will want to play it vertically in their hands. Like how many Jackbox games do you turn sideways? None of them.
I mean, but that's just because Jackbox games are just pretty much just typing in stuff or drawing something.
A little bit because of that, yeah. But yeah, I bet you there are like rhythm games and shit that Jackbox does now and stuff, but
like,
people just like it's a phone is designed to be held vertically. That's what it's for, so that's why people would want to do that. And it's not that big a deal to have vertically stacked panels.
yeah, but it's vertically. It's designed to be. So the one place in which I think it would be more comfortable to hold vertically is when typing in on the text boxes. That is true. I think although would you? I don't know. I guess
I mean, if you're trying to drag something from the bottom right of the screen to the top left of the screen, that's really difficult to do. But if if we orient like stickers always on the right side of the screen and you're doing vertical, it's not as hard to go up to bottom.
I just think it's going to look too small. A lot of it, like most of the horizontal panel layout always allows you to have more information on screen at any given time and have the stuff be readable.
No, you seem to be misunderstanding what I mean by vertical. I mean just literally rotate this 90 degrees.
Yeah, but then it's like here. Let me show you.
Then you read top to bottom.
Let me snip this out. Like once it's vertical right here, let's go to paint. Once it's vertical, once the display is vertical, the panels are necessarily smaller, and yes,
Are
eventually
they?
we will do a like.
Why are the panels smaller?
Because
if the panels are square, they're not going to be any smaller. Like if anything, they take up less space vertically, or they get bigger vertically.
Because here's your phone screen, right? Let's do a phone screen. There's your phone, let's say. I don't know if that's really the right size of a phone, but like
Doesn't matter.
you're saying,
Just make 3 boxes. You don't even need to have the drawing there. Just make 3 boxes vertically, and take up all of the space.
well, I guess, okay, so yeah, so you're saying like this, right? I guess,
Yeah, basically, and it takes up all the space, and then the UI, like the trash can, that only shows up when you are like hovering, when you're holding a sticker, and you drag to the bottom left of the screen, or something.
I just think like,
It's
wait,
the same
okay,
idea
so you're saying like
regardless.
the stickers would be, there would be like a little
Like,
extra
so there would be a
space.
button or something to open, like there'll be a button to open like a overlay panel to scroll through a list of really organized decks like stickers. But like I'm saying, the most of all the screen should basically be taken up by the boxes at all times. The question is there overlay on top of that? And that overlay only shows when it's relevant, like when you want to delete a sticker, or when you want to grab a new sticker, and you can like maybe tap the top right to open up your sticker inventory and pull one out, and then when you're dragging a sticker you could drag it to the bottom left and there's the trash can. Trash can pops out, you put it in, drop it, it's gone. Mr. Ideas is basically at that point probably not even on the screen because you really probably just want to save the
If
screen real
like
estate for mobile.
this is what I mean by there's less space. Like if this,
I think it's the same amount of space, really. But that we're not putting that on the bottom. That's what that's also going to be. That's going to be an overlay panel, vertical screen.
so sorry, so the with the trash, how do you
I'll paint.
what do you do
I'll
to put
paint.
something in the trash can?
Okay, so here we go. Let me stream. Stream. All right, so you see my screen? Oops. Here's my phone. Right, panel 1.
Your screen, sorry, I'm looking at my, where's yours?
Probably a little small on that. Or maybe even just more horizontally organized. There we go, here are our panels. Right. And then let's just say there's a small little button here and a small little like trash can indicator over here, basically, right? And then I click the button on the top right, and the next thing that happens is I get an overlay like this that pops out and hovers over this, and it has all my stickers in it. So there's and let's make this a solid color. Can I solid this? Is there a way to do that? Fill, solid color. We'll make it red. Red. There it is. This is black. Okay. So, here's the overlay pops out and it has like a bunch of stickers in it, right? And they're blue. Here's your stickers. Sticker. And then you just drag that out and onto the panel. And then once you drag it out of here, the panel closes. And you can scroll this bar up and down. And then if you want to, you drag it over the trash can, and the trash can will, you have your, ooh, this is weird. Let's go back to.
And then Mr. Ideas is in this scenario also a button like the.
I guess he's just a button up here, basically, and like you can, and I don't see Mr. Ideas being an integral part of the.
I do.
UI experience here on mobile. You just don't have the screen space for him. I mean, we could make this look like Mr. Ideas, this button here. You could just make it look like him, but like we just don't have the screen real estate for it on mobile. Here's the trash can. So like I don't know, you drag one of your stickers onto there, and that's what it does. So, yeah, drag that into there. Trash can pops out. Boop. Drop it. Gone. And then all this is you just get the comic, which is nice. It's all you want to see when you're on a mobile. Really, that's what you want to see. And you could do this same exact thing horizontally if you want. There's not that much of a difference. Yeah. Just being that
I think it just.
really
I
the
think it
difference-
just the personally to me,
especially
the
the
bar
aspect
being at
ratio
the
of the.
bottom, the red bar that you have on the top there being at the bottom would feel
Well, that's the
much
thing.
more
Your hand,
intuitive.
you still wouldn't do it on the bottom. So then, if you're doing it this way, their hand is over here, grabbing the phone, right?
Yeah.
And their other hand is either here, grabbing it, and then so the bar needs to be on the corner, on the
But
sides, and it's a smaller
I think
bar.
I think if it's on the left, or if the bar's on the left or right in the horizontal mode, they're going to accidentally be hitting it all the time because that's the way.
So then the other option is you're asking them to hold their whole phone with one hand.
I'm asking
and
them
put
to
it, like,
put their finger in the middle bottom and then have the bar pop up.
Yeah, but then if they want to select a sticker in the middle, they have to scroll it to the end. Which, like, what if? So then I guess we have an infinite scrolling thing, which I guess you could do, but that's still weird. A lot of people are gonna try to grab a lot of people are just naturally gonna hold the phone with one hand, come down here and try to grab the sticker from the middle, and that's just gonna feel bad, like you're
I also
holding
just
because
think
you're holding your phone with
aesthetically,
one hand.
it registering as a panel of comics is better as in horizontal. But I don't see what
I
were you
will
saying
give you
about
that. It does register more regularly as a panel a panel of comics that way. I do agree with that, but I don't necessarily think it's the most user-friendly way to do it.
So wait, what's the problem with the? You said with the having the middle be the
Because then this is their hand. They're holding the phone. Like, hold your phone with your hand, with one hand, and then like use your other hand to click on it. It's not a natural way to hold your phone, and you don't want to hold your phone that way for a long period of time. But holding it vertically, you do this all the time. It's how the phone's meant to be held. So, like, we want to play this vertically. We want to make this a vertically available.
like why then? Like I guess why don't
If you have two hands on it, then
why
if we
don't
could find
card
a
games
two-hand
where I
way,
need to
then
scroll through the deck do it usually have their layout usually vertically? Why is Magic the Gathering? This is a
what
genuine
card
question.
game?
Why is Magic the Gathering and Hearthstone all horizontal? And
Is it? I don't know. I've never played them on my phone, but let's see.
The games
Play.
where we have this exact layout, I'm just saying, are all done horizontally that I know of. Slay the
Let's see.
Spire, and to me, it's because it is more natural to, if you have a deck of something you're swiping through, you want to be able to swipe left and right. You want to be holding the sides of the phone and swiping left and right through that deck.
Hold on. I'm trying to see gameplay of Hearthstone. Alright, so this is designed obviously for that.
Like when I play this on my phone, I'm holding my
Well,
phone.
I mean, this is a different thing because there's way more information they need to display on here.
Yeah, but also it's not super unnatural. Like when I play this game, I find it very natural to be when the deck comes up in the middle.
To me, that's just gonna feel
and you're doing
weird.
this, the exact thing. Like that feels best horizontally. I can't even imagine doing that. But I guess you could be scrolling up and down, but I feel like I would be.
Well, part of the problem here is that you're never dragging across the screen. You're just dragging up a little bit and into the middle or whatever. It's not that hard.
No,
Like,
when a lot of cards get on the when a lot of cards get on the board, you need to place them. I can't remember actually, but in either Magic or this, I think there is a plate where you place them element to it on the board where you need a little bit more fine control. And even so, I don't see what from a horizontal perspective. Either way, this isn't really critical to getting stuff done before GDC. That's just my opinion. But like
Well, I think this is super important. Is getting this ready because I think the best way to get people to actually play is just give them a website to go to that they can go to on their phone. That's the best way. Otherwise, we're not gonna get people to actually play the game.
I think the best way. Personally, I think the best way to
this.
play is a pass and play method where we're playing with them, and sort of like telling them what to do and encourage.
I'm not sure that we're gonna have that much opportunity of people like being like, hey, let's you want to play our game. I feel like a lot of people aren't going to.
If we're asking them to play it on out of our presence, right? We're asking them to play it with their friends, so they have to say they have to do that gathering of a group of friends, which I think is a step to like a tiny obstacle in our way that makes it the just finding a group of people and chatting with them and having a
no, but we could also just be like, hey, we could still say, hey, you want to play this game that we made together? Well, let's all just go to this website right now.
Yes, we could do it that way too. That is the like I'm just saying I don't see people out of our presence playing the game. I think it'll be us sitting them down and saying,
no, but it could very well be like we want the ability for it to be for someone to go, oh, that's really cool, let's play another round of that, and then go do that, and then they can with their friends where they feel comfortable.
Yeah, ultimately we do, but I just with the time we have left and with the time I have left to work on this, I don't have a lot, like, it's hard, it would, like, to design something for mobile when I can't, like, is there a way for me to, let me say this, is there a way for me to simulate what the inputs would be like on mobile while testing the UI stuff in some way?
Yeah, I mean, in Unity you can, it's literally just left click, right click, you can just, I'm positive there's a way to move those, and you can change the aspect ratio here, to match a aspect ratio of, like, a phone or whatever you want. Here's a 10 by 10 aspect ratio. Here's a Surface Pro, what that would look like. Here's, And
then the other thing is like, if we're if we're doing the UI this way, we're like, the stickers are not objects in the scene that are all synced. They're all stickers can belong to. If we're doing a turn-based thing, or maybe we don't do a turn-based thing then if we do this, but which I think is a mistake. But say we don't. Then we're doing a game that's more like what it is now, where people are just grabbing all around and etc. Because like with the turn-based thing, if you can have, does everyone share that bar on the right side of your thing then?
Turn-based thing, yeah, it would probably be everyone shares the bar, and while you're waiting for your turn, you're just basically watching what's happening. And that's the other thing of the downside of a turn-based one is not everyone can do something at the same time. So I think I'd even rather, because it's networked, just let them all do the shit at the same time, and then maybe have everyone has their own personal inventory of shit that they can refresh. Maybe just get random stickers, hit random button, randomize.
It's that way right now, and it's good. It's fun. And you can see the fun there, but it does not feel like a full game to me yet. I think it will feel a lot. I think making it turn-based will make it feel a lot more like a game. And
but if it's turn-based cooperative, I don't understand how people
it could be
then you're just waiting. But let's say turn-based cooperative, you're just sort of waiting around for someone to do their thing, and it doesn't. I don't think it's as fun and wacky then. There's because you have to wait to iterate on your idea. It's not, and I'm not saying that there's no value to a turn-based thing, but I kind of like some of the value of how Gartic Phone works. The fun in that, right, is that you don't know, you take your thing, you make your change and you pass it on, and then you don't know what happens to it then. You just see it at the end, which is fun. That's cool. You get to see what your input was.
If we're going that route, I think we do
That's cool.
I think we do competitive and then they get shared at the end, but that's very Jackboxy, and I was trying to distinguish this from Jackbox a little bit.
We could do cooperative Gartic Phone, basically steal that and just go and then do turn-based. Everyone gets to start. They do the first panel, someone else does the second panel with the same stickers plus more. And then someone else does the third panel, same stickers plus more.
We could get that done. I would be totally down for that. But I think a more attainable goal is because that requires
That's not that complicated. We have the systems in place for it. It's just, the only thing is just keeping track of sets of panels instead, and just basically saying what people have access to, which set people have access to.
Then what's on your
Basically, all you need to do, if you think about it, really, is save the stickers that are in the room and their positions, and that's a someone's quote unquote comic, right? And then at the end, you can just you can vote on them or something, and you can all vote on which one you find to be the best or whatever. But basically, if you think about it, the
That's heavy on work on your end though, because it's like you have to make that thing that the network stuff that saves all that down, figures out
Yeah, we
which
have 3
players
weeks left still.
getting passed
There's
on
3
to.
weeks.
Well, I don't know about you, you're working full time now, so I was just assuming you have as much time as I do, which is like basically
No, I
just
don't have
10
children.
hours to the weekend. Yeah, that's true. So like, yeah, if you think you can get that done in 20 hours, or whatever.
Yeah, I think we should have one big collaborative fest, just like keep it as it is, you know, kind of like free for all. Just everyone get in here, have fun, and then have an optional mode where it's either the Gartic, we'll call it a Gartic phone or Jackbox, and I'm fine with it, the Gartic phone, because I do like the idea of doing more cooperative and introducing more cooperative games into the world in general. There's in a world in an industry that's dominated by
So
competitive.
that's why
multiplayer.
I was pitching this mode, right? Is because I think so. Yes, the downside is people are waiting around, but I think there is an upside. There's an equally good upside to waiting, as long as you can see what another player is doing while you're waiting. So if we keep it fully networked, you can see everyone's hands and everything, and still have it be turn-based. Like, and on my turn, I can spit out 3 things to add to the comic. At a time, right? But only I'm moving during this period, but they're still seeing me move everything. I still think there's value to that because you're seeing the iteration, you're seeing that the other person think through it, and that's interesting. And also, like, like when you hand someone a game that you made, you know the rules and you know you know what the vibe of the game is going to be. But people like to be told what to do in games. Tutorials exist for a reason, and like.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're still being told what to do in all the other modes.
Games where, like, especially with like artistic based, like semi-abstract multiplayer games like this, I think there's a lot of value to saying to a person, it is your turn now, you have these 3 things, go, rather than just saying like, all right, everybody go, like, you know.
I do see what you're talking about. There definitely is value for a mode like that. I don't think it's the mode that my worry with that mode is it's so restrictive that you don't wind up with people getting funny enough comics that they feel good about the thing they made.
Well,
they don't. Whereas we can allow, like, if you had in the free for all mode, one person can carry the entire experience and it's still fun. One person just needs to be creative, and then you can have also way more stickers and shit. But yeah, that's my fear with that turn-based mode, and it being just basically a little bit too slow kind of thing.
We could test that.
but
That's something we could test without actually building the architecture of the game. We could do a thing where we basically walk through that. Like, I'll just leave this set as it is now with only 3 things at a time, and we'll toss them in the garbage afterwards when it moves on to the next turn, and then the next person has to go.
Yeah, we can mess around with it. Yeah. When I get that, at some point in the next. I hope in the next day or so to have literally the website deployed so that we can literally all just jump on the current build on a website and just do it. Like, that's the goal, and if that works, then awesome. Then we're already halfway there in terms of just showing this thing off. Honestly, if that works, then I'm already happy enough to show off what we have. But it would be better, obviously, to gamify it.
I really would like to get a mode where your prompt, where like something a little more like the right now it looks it's fun, but it looks messy, especially with a million different stickers down here, and it doesn't look fully like a game yet. Like I just feel
why
like,
don't you work on then a bar, like a sticker bar, like that is valuable, like, and that cleans up the workspace, and that is client side only. Like, I'll need to network the things that go in the bar for some of the modes that we talked about, but the bar itself is, if it's going to be like one person only kind of thing, or one person at a time, is not networked or anything like that. And even if it is, even if we do like just sync the bar and have everyone in there at the same time, I can still get around. If I don't sync the bar itself and just sync its contents basically, then it still works the same way. The amount of networking I have to do is a little smaller.
hold on, let's see here. All right, we have next weekend, Saturday, Sunday.
We have 2 weekends,
After that.
and
'Cause I basically no more time
we-
this weekend. All I was trying to do before end of day today was get the well, ability to type into it. So this is what also here. Let me find a text box. This is what you
The
said.
ability to type in thing is going to be network too, but like yeah, as long as you are writing to basically a string and then using that change in that string value to update the. Basically, what you need to do is have a function that says update the update sticker bubble, and then have a string variable that's tied to that, and then have a string that stores the custom content in the class itself, because then that's how I'll track the change on that string variable, and then when that changes, I'll run that method locally for everybody.
But so you said you wanted it to be like right now it just displays based off. So here, are you looking at my screen?
I can look now. Hey.
All right. So right now we have, I have it so that if I shake my mouse over this, it'll erase this. And and now that's that. And then I was gonna put a text mesh pro input field thing basically, to where you could type into this and it would save. So I would move all these up by 1, and I'd have element 0 be the empty string, and then element 0, and then so erasing it.
I had to send the string anyway. I don't think there's necessarily a reason to mess with that array. Like that can be the pre-filled array, and there's not really a reason to change that.
That's fine. I mean, that's what yesterday I had said I was going to do the opposite, and you said you wanted something with a -1 and the index -1 in this array. I thought, is that not what you said?
Well, no, because I wanted to, so basically because index -1 would mean that there's nothing in, like you're not indexed into the array, because there is no possible index -1 in an array. So that would just be a representation, a data representation of, oh, there's a custom value here. But I don't even think we really need to do that anymore, because once the sticker gets overwritten, I assume like that's it. You're not going to be going back to any of those pre-built ones, preloaded phrases anyway. So really what it needs to be, the real way it will work, is there's going to be a string value, a class value, a class string, a member, a class member that's a string that is is called bubble text, or bubble custom text is probably, or maybe just custom text is probably the better way to phrase it. And then I'm going to make that networked, and when it's networked, you can subscribe to it to check when it changes, and then when it changes, everything. Every client basically gets a message that says, hey, this changed, and then you can run a function based on that. So that function will basically be something along the lines of go to the text bubble text, the text mesh pro text, and set that text value to this value, the new value. That's all that will be. So that's how it will work. So basically all you need to do is figure out, but real honestly, before you do anything, what you need to do is go check out my new code, my new branch, and look to see what the changes are. Like, I don't even think a merge is going to be appropriate at this point, because it's so many changes that I made to make the networking stuff work. So it might be literally faster to just figure out what changes happened.
There's a lot of changes on my end too.
We can merge over your mesh stuff. Like that's easy enough, because like you said, that stuff I haven't touched.
No, I just mean so prefabs you didn't touch, right?
I didn't touch the prefab, so those should come over.
That should be fine. The lots of little changes are.
Remember, I was saying that this is going to be, like, it's a whole thing, the network stuff, and I was saying all the things I was changing, I was trying to explicitly mention those so that you knew what was happening, because a lot of this stuff changed to be network friendly.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could just leave all these open. All of these scripts have small changes to them, but...
I mean, what were you like doing with them? Like a lot of the squash and stretch stuff,
That one
like
doesn't. Sorry,
the.
hold on. Let me look through. This one doesn't. That's new. That's new. Actually, it might not be so bad.
The restart room stuff actually has to be networked. It's not networked yet.
So the only thing I changed with this is, you know, I just have a room that plays a static video that it goes to between when I thought it would randomly select a new rollout of panels, but I think for GDC let's just stick with 3. You know, it'll just be the 3 panel setup.
I think we should have like a website too, either a Patreon or a Kickstarter, something along those lines that says like our roadmap basically, like and have like different panel setups, stuff like that, and you know, might encourage people to like if they see that we have a vision for this, encourage people to back us, even if we can't. Like ideally, honestly, I think it'd be more ideal if we could just get an audience and skip a publisher altogether, obviously. But you know, I would accept either option if we got the opportunity.
Yeah, that would be if there was enough. So I don't know what the does Kickstarter have a time limit? One of them has a time limit, right?
Kickstarter, I think, has a time limit. Yeah.
So maybe like.
But we could make the Kickstarter value super low, just like, you know, make it like $1,000 or something, or 10,000 even. Honestly, is relatively low for game development. Just make it like something achievable. And then just have different like thresholds for like custom sticker packs or like I don't know, additional panels, like as we said, different additional panel ads. Have those be stretch goals or something. Or
mean,
we could just do a Patreon and just be like, hey, look, we developed this in our free time, you know, until we either release the game and get enough money to do it full time, or like get enough backers to do it full time. Like, you know, basically money means investment in speed. You know, if we can live off of this, we could do this full time.
Yeah, I mean.
Anyway, but we should have something set up.
Before GDC, you mean?
Definitely. We want people to be able to go there and look at it and say, hey, even if these aren't people that like are publishers or people with any connections, we want people to be able to go there and see and back us if they want.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Yeah, that shouldn't take that long to do it, right?
No, it's just setting up a Patreon page, and that's really all that is. We gotta make business cards. There's a lot to do. Sammy said she'd help with some of that stuff.
Yeah. So.
Alright, I gotta get running before the daylight goes completely gone.
So let me know when we can figure out how to not quote unquote merge. If you want to do that today, I'd be down to do that today.
I might be able to do it today. We'll see when I get back. I got
the
some
longer we go
do,
without it, either I don't, you know, like yeah, God, it's hard to know what to do because like I want to. The number one thing I want to do.
We could just be safe and like make a new branch for you off of main, and then merge my branch into your branch and just see what happens.
I don't mean about the merging. I just mean about
safe.
like if I'm not gonna be if you can't do that today, I'm not sure what to do. I don't have that much more time
to work on right now. I don't know. You could. There's some more of those special effect panels could be cool if you want to try some of those, and that's fun to do.
Yeah, that's easy. That's gonna be my at the end. I do have.
Do you think a scroll bar for stickers would be nice to have, even if we don't wind up using it right away? It would still be. I think it's a necessity for small mobile devices. Ooh, that's a good effect. It's simple. Maybe make both sides rounded. I feel like it looks. Oh, they aren't rounded. It's just the effect I was getting. Okay.
I have those so far, and
Yes.
these took me like hardly any time. I have like 10 different ideas that I pasted.
Mess around with them. I think do some more stuff like that. Like I think there's room to grow. There's lots of room there for stuff that
Alright, for the word
will
bubble
really
stuff,
add.
I'll just leave the typing in the word bubble to you if that's okay. I
It's
want
super easy. I honestly don't think that's gonna take much time at all. I think that's a 30-minute sit down and do. Even to get it networked and working, I don't think that's gonna take too much time.
Alright, then I'll leave that to you. The yeah, like the if I
Honestly,
choose to do
like
the scroll bar, that's probably the only like that's a redoing of all the scenes or of this scene at least of the UI, and it would have to be done after or it would have not have to be done after
it
we
wouldn't be
merge.
that much redoing. It would just be like all it is just saying when Mr. Ideas gets clicked, add a sticker instead of adding it to this open area. Just add it to like a panel,
Canvas, yeah.
some kind of UI canvas
But
panel,
it's also
and like put it in
relaying
a
out all
vertical.
these panels to take up more space basically because we're not going to need all this. And also
Yeah.
is the so this is 1920 by 1080, right? I think 16 by
Yeah,
9.
this is 16 by 9 aspect ratio, so
Is that the same aspect ratio as a phone?
it's a, no, a phone is vertical, obviously, and I don't remember the aspect ratio of a phone, but let me look it up. So it's gonna be like 9 by
So
16 or
it would be
something, but
making I would
it's
just
actually gonna be
at that point
smaller
I
than
would just
that.
I would copy this room. I would go to the phone aspect ratio. I would redo everything and I redo the
It is
UI.
9 by 16 actually. Most phones
Okay.
are 9 by 16.
So why? So it's looking to me like this is a 3-panel setup. And I feel like if these were, like I'm having trouble picturing, the panels themselves are going to look wide like movie screens, which I don't love. Extra makes them
If
not
you do
read.
vertically, yeah, so if you do it, no, regardless of which way you do it, the panels are gonna look a little wonky. Because they're gonna either look too small if horizontally, like hold your phone up. They're like, and imagine that screen on your phone, like the panels are gonna look small, right? Like, so if we want them to take up if we want it to make the screen space taken up mostly by the panels, then the panels are gonna look tall.
Yeah, I don't
Uh,
love that. I do have one room
Me
with
neither.
that,
I
but
don't
like,
know. I think they look better as like little 16 by 9 screens in your 9 by 16 screen. You know what I mean? Little 16 by 9 aspect ratios.
I think they look better when
But
they're more square shaped. Basically, like is what
I
I.
do too. But the question is, if you don't do that, well, then you have to squish some of the screen. Like you don't take up the full screen on the phone, and it looks a little shittier.
Right. That's
But
why I was
we don't need
originally
to solve that
thinking.
right now. We can solve that. Like if you don't, we can solve that later. Honestly,
My thinking
uh,
was like we would do a zoom and unzoom, but leave so that you know, you could look at closer, you could
yeah,
closer
but
look at
like, what if you're
panels. But
trying to drag? I mean, as if you had that little sticker bar, you could do that. But then it's a little weird. We could do a zoom and unzoom, but then like, if you're trying to drag from one panel to the next, you have to go to a panel, pull it out into your sticker inventory, go to the next panel, put it into that sticker inventory, you know, or pull it out of your sticker inventory into that panel. So like, it's a 3-step to move a sticker between panels, which doesn't feel great. Oh,
wait, sorry.
well, no, that's gonna be network too. I
Wait,
was gonna say
repeat
another
what
thing
you just said about the 3 steps. Sorry.
Okay, if you have the zoom thing, right?
Hmm.
If I want to move stickers between panels, I have to zoom into the one, pull the sticker out, zoom out, then zoom into the other, pull the sticker, and then put the sticker in again, right? So zoom into panel 1, pull the sticker out and put it into my panel, zoom out, that's step 2. Now zoom into the thing, the second panel, pull the sticker into that panel. Like, it's a little wonky, right? You really want to be able to just drag between all of the panels at the same time. That's sort of the benefit of being able to move around. We also need copy and paste panels to like duplicate panels and swap panels position. But that all needs to be networked. So that's not going to be something that you'll be able to do super easily.
Yeah, this.
I think the easiest stuff that you'll have access to is the sticker, is adding new stickers, adding the sticker scroll bar. If we do, because if we go that route, then it's
I
a
do
little
I
easier.
do think if we're doing this, if we're getting rid of the UI, I think what this actually looks like is there is some extra gray on top and gray on bottom because I want to keep this square shape. You know what I
Maybe, or maybe
mean?
just black or something. But yeah, I can see
Yeah.
what you mean. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
But at that point,
Also,
like,
another
why
thing you
not
could
just
do
keep it the
is if
way
you
we
want to
have
work
it? Because
more on the
like if we have
if you want
black
to work more on the gamifying thing, you could also like play this game with your kids and like literally cut these out and see what game modes work well with you playing with your kids and stuff. And that could, that's multiple hours working on the game right there.
My kids will not play anything that I've made.
Yeah, you could even do it with like actual physical cutouts and stuff.
But
But
you know, we should get so. All right. I think the top priorities are. Honestly, my top priority is let's get in together and play the game and decide on a game mode.
That is definitely the.
And then build around that game mode
top
entirely.
priority.
And then that game mode informs like, okay, informs everything else we focus on after that.
Yeah, because if it's a game mode where you're gonna have your own distinct set of stickers, then your panel works perfectly. I don't even need to network much
Right,
of it.
exactly.
But if it's a game mode where everyone has shared set of stickers, there is going to be some networking involved in that. So we will need to figure that out.
But I do think, like, the more I'm thinking of it, and the more I'm thinking of it now, like, whatever, like, try both ways. It's easy enough. But like, if these continue to be boxes and are not more rectangular in shape to maximize screen space, then I think at that point, we are gonna have like about as much extra space. The extra space is literally this space, right? Split into two, put at the top and the bottom, and then at that point, why not just keep it the way you already have it? Like, I don't know.
Well, we have to do that if the if we are sticking to it has to be a square. Yeah.
To me, it reads best as a square, but like we'll see. Like I do have, like I said, I have one room where they are a little taller. Where are they? Panel tall, I think. Or actually, back up.
If we do stretch goal stuff, I think a stretch goal should also be like native support for custom stickers if people want to make their own.
This is not quite right because I was, thinking that we would have to use this space, but like the taller setup would be like a little wider version of these. Actually, I probably could see it better in paint. It's basically like.
Honestly, yeah. Then you have the things on the side. I see what you're doing. There's some value to that. That looks not bad. But yeah, I see what you're going for.
And even with it like this is another reason I think like this as a comic would look better to me horizontal, like a taller aspect ratio than a wider. Although it works both ways. But like, yeah.
Oh, this looks more movie-like. The other one would look
right. Exactly. This looks more
strange.
cinematic.
Yeah, honestly, the vertical one is a little weird to me. I think if we go sideways, we have to keep it more square because it'll just this looks weird to me sideways. Like just rotate that 90 degrees and that kind of looks wonky.
I think they both look kind of wonky, honestly. Like I think squares are going to be better.
Squares probably are better.
I mean, there is.
And maybe I am.
There's a setup
maybe I'm
like
wrong,
this, though,
and there's.
Right? There's this.
Yeah, the double-sided. Yeah, and you did that even vertically. That looked pretty good.
Yeah,
but that's a lot of panels.
There's a lot.
I mean, we could do the 4x4 panel. That would look fine, and then have the bottom part.
Honestly,
of the
the way I would do
or,
it,
like,
now that we're talking through it, the way I would do it is if it's this one, it's the layout you were talking about with like where you have like you know, you have a bar, and otherwise I would just keep it the way we have it here. But I guess that's kind of weird
Yeah.
for the UI to change between things, so I'm not sure
That
how
would
to
be
reconcile
weird too.
that.
So we'll have to figure it out. Well, for now, we can worry about it later. Let's just get the website stuff before getting working, and then we'll worry about the aspect stuff resizing next week. Let's just get a playable game in, and you know what I mean. Then that'll look. There are some cool things you can do with aspect ratio too. Like there's like because having some weird aspect ratios could be fun, and like having those off square aspect ratio stuff or off square panels is fun. Like more comic book style panels, more like actual comic books, not
Yeah,
joke
I
comic
guess the way
books.
to do it actually would be for this, you know, you do redo the UI totally down here where it is just like a little bit of gray at the top and bottom and buttons for all the things that are represented down here and lists that pop out. That's so you are having like a little bit of wasted kind of space in those, but then you keep the same UI for when it's like this or like this, right?
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Well, for now, the real goal. You're right. Should just be to start. Let's just get the modes in, get them figured out, and let's get that set up for. Let's just get playing so we know what we're building
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
And that'll be easy enough. If I can just get this thing deployed to a website, we can pretty much do that now, and I'll network the restart button and stuff like that. So we're close to that side of things. All right, I do have to go because it's getting too late before the temperature's starting to drop, Chris. I'm losing my 80-degree day.
All right. I guess I'll work on effects.
All right,
Catch you later.
later.